Hello, everyone. My name is Laura Hopkins, not only a teacher, instructional designer, and training and development specialist. And today, what we are going to focus on in this virtual learning tour is something called Magic School AI, which is getting a lot of traction in education because it's an amazing tool that can do so many things. And so, what I'd like to show today on my screen is the actual Magic School homepage, how to log in, what teacher tools can you use to make your life better, and other tools that also they're amazing, but to be cautious of, to check with your school district because you could run into some issues. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. So as you can see on the homepage, I'm going to go ahead and click on the login button in the top right hand corner. I'm going to say I'm an educator for this purpose and for this virtual tour. As you can see on the login screen, you can put any email or password that you like. I like to sign in with Google just because it's easier to manage. Of course, you can use Microsoft or SSO, but I'm going to go ahead and log in with Google. Pick the one that I want to use. So as you can see, it is now taking me to the Magic School AI Teacher Tools dashboard. This is where this training will be today in this location just because there is so many things in this platform that I cannot cover it all in this one virtual tour. But if you do have a request and you would like to learn more, I will tell you how to contact me at the end to where we can even do more short videos to show you different tools that you would love to learn. So for today, I want to show you the favorite section, what's recommended for you, how you can navigate this platform, and what are the basics that can get you started in playing with this with your classroom, with your team, and even with your students down the road. So as you can see on this dashboard, there's a favorite section, there's a recommended for you, there's all the tools that you can explore with Magic School AI, and then that's basically where it stops. As you can see, there's so many tools in this platform that you can choose from. The only ones that I will say, just to give some advice or suggestions on, are the ones that do, for example, trying to find it, things like a 504 plan generator. There's advanced learning plans. There are IEP learning plans and so forth in this platform, or even BIPs, which are behavioral plans. All I ask teachers whenever they're using this platform is to definitely check with your special education department and your 504 coordinator and your school district because often than not, your school district already has plans like these in place for your kids. They use that has been approved either by the state or by the school board or school district that says I need to use these. Because if these are not done correctly, because there is a school law for special education, it's massive, but if you're not using the correct documents to track these kids and their progress, and let's say they're failing their classes, this is where it comes back on us as the educators and the ones trying to support them in our classrooms. So all I advise when you see AI generators like this is definitely check with your departments. Make sure that they're okay with you using it if you're trying to use it just to track your students in your classroom to make sure they are the most successful that they can be. Otherwise, Magic School has so many other tools you can use in here that this is really not a deal breaker. For example, they have SAT ELA practice tests for our high school students. They have text scaffolders. They have math. They have chat with documents. They have quote of the day. There is so much in here that you won't even notice those other ones. They're really, you don't have to worry. But I just want to make sure you keep that in mind. So as we continue to look at this platform, I'm going to go back up to the top as you see me scrolling upward. And I'm going to show you how to actually bookmark your favorite things that you love to use and how you can explore further. So, for example, you see in my favorite section, there's all these different things that I love to use as an English teacher. So, how do you get these to show up at the top? Well, let's say, for example, you looked at your recommendations and you're like, oh man, I would love to use a YouTube video questions because you use YouTube quite a bit in your classroom and you upload your own videos into the platform and you would like an easier way to put questions so your students can answer and watch it. Well, as you've noticed right here, there's a star sitting there. And when you click on it, it now becomes part of your favorite section. It's kind of like bookmarks on Google Chrome, where you click the star and it will put it into your favorites or your bookmark folder. That's basically what this does. And so it should once you get used to the platform, feel familiar to you. And you can continue to build up as many as you want in your favorites as you like. You can even change the order of it. If there's something you use constantly compared to other tools, then you can change the order and put that first. And so there's a lot of cool things you can do with your favorite section. If you're unsure and you're like, I have no idea where to start, and this thing is so massive, and you feel slightly overwhelmed, go ahead and go into the recommended for you. Click on Get More Recommendations. So when I click on this section, you actually put what grade level. You can go see even university if you are a college professor, and you can type in here what you are looking for. So if I say I am a high school English teacher, say that's all I'm going to put, then I can click generate, and then it will list out as it keeps generating Magic School AI tools for educators for me. And it will say, oh, well, hey, if you're an English teacher, then maybe you like multiple choice assessments. Maybe you need text dependent questions. Maybe you do common misconceptions. Maybe you need vocabulary generator because you're struggling with that story with the kids and they just need a little bit extra scaffolding and help. So, again, use these areas or these hints that they give you if you're stuck because it does give you a great way to start the program. Down here where it says Magic School for Students, again, this would have to be covered in another virtual tour of Magic School AI. But basically, these are tools that you can give to your students to use if you wanted to in your classroom. If your school district loves it, if your instructional coach is like, yes, let's do this, then this is something you could create classrooms and student rooms and give them these tools to where they can use them in, for example, my English classroom for writing feedback for real world connections and other things that I want them to learn to help them get better in their writing and their reading skills. So that's another wonderful bonus as well to this platform. You can also edit. You can read it. It can be read aloud. It can be copied if you need it for later into a Google Doc or Microsoft Word sheet, and you can use those to your advantage. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and go back, and then you can continue exploring. For this, I am definitely going to show a couple of my favorites because those are the biggest ones that I use that can be used in other subject areas. So, for example, I'm going to go ahead and click on the rubric generator first. What I love about this rubric generator is that you can customize it any way you want. And it's not just English that uses rubrics. I've seen math teachers with their math projects, science, especially with their labs, if you're trying to grade them on that. I've seen it used in, of course, any kind of history class when they do papers and projects. So again, obviously pick your grade level, but use it to your advantage, whatever your subject may be. I've even seen with CTE courses as well. This can be used for multiple subjects. So I'm going to stick with ninth grade because that's where I currently teach. I'm going to do a point scale. I usually like 5 points only because my students are used to that. And I want them to have that same consistency whenever they look at my rubrics in my classroom. So I like the 5 point scale, but you may put it any number you'd like, 5 all the way to 7 to as low as 3, whatever works for your classroom. If you have a standard or objective that you write in your classroom, then this is where you would copy and paste it. So, like for example, I do I statements in my room. So I might put I will create a plot, and I'm using marigolds because that's usually in our studies and curriculum. So I want them to create a plot diagram to show me in the beginning of the school year. Do they actually know what that is, and can they show me what happens in the story, sequencing of events? Down here would be the assignment description. So again, uh, so as you're seeing me type in here, I put write and display the given plot points of the story, such as, of course, beginning, rising action, all the things that you need, because again, it's AI. It needs a little bit of help or direction. And of course, conclusion. It's always good to check spelling. Okay. So as you can see, I at least have the assignment description. If you have anything else you would like your rubric to have, it's optional. But again, this is up to you and your team what you would like to display. You also, if you have TEKS or Common Core standards from different states, you also can copy and paste them here. But for the sake of this tour, I'm just going to show you basically what it can do, even without these things, how powerful Magic School AI could be. So down here, I'm going to click the Generate button, and then magically, it appears where you can read your rubric, you can look and see if you like the titles, the numbers, the criteria of every part of this plot diagram and overall presentation. Does it actually answer the question I want my students to do? If there's something in here that you don't like the wording or you want to put like academic vocabulary into the rubric to get your kids to use it and be recognized, you actually can click on the edit button down below and you can actually go in here and change what you want. You can change the titles, you can change the numbers if you want this to be 100 through 0. If you want to change any words in here, then you can. That is what's so great about it. And you can talk to your teams and do it together. It doesn't have to be by yourself unless that's the way you'd like to do it for your classroom. So this is amazing. Once you have done everything that you want to do with this rubric, you click down here at the bottom and say save, whatever you'd like to save. And then you either can copy it, you can export it, you can read it aloud if you'd like. You can even save it to your resources. If you still want to play with this longer with directions or anything else you'd like to add, again, here are more AI prompts that you can use to send the message to Magic School AI, and it will help you and it will give whatever you want it to do to the best of its ability. Just make sure you check it. But you can do that down here if you would choose to. So that is your rubric generator, and that's basically how it works. And you can edit the prompt, you can do anything you'd like with it. So I'm going to go ahead and click the back button. Another one that's very popular is, of course, writing feedback. Again, it can be for any subject area. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one next. Again, you pick your grade level. You put in here what you want, what is the assignment and what you want your students to do. What would you like to happen with the rubric? Like if you have one, you can attach it. You can use the same rubric we were just looking at. And you can attach it here. And so that way it can even help you further with feedback. Again, additional instructions for types of feedback. If you wanted to do anything extra that you want the kids to know, this is a great place to put it. Down here is where you'd copy and paste that student's work. So for example, if I have a student only writes like one sentence and says, Elizabeth regrets she, because I promise you, you will have students who will do this, where all they write is one sentence because they don't have the skills yet to build a full paragraph or even get their thoughts out in an organized and coherent way. And so sometimes this might be all that you get, but at least you can give them something back in return. So let's say that's all one of my students writes, and I say generate because I need a little help giving them feedback. And as you can see on my screen with the writing feedback, I noticed that the student's writing example is extremely brief, just a single sentence. And so from here, it goes into, okay, well, this student might need help in these areas. And please have the student submit their complete written response that does these things. So if you have those couple of students, especially our emergent bilinguals, or even our special education students who struggle with paragraph development, this is one way to give them a checklist to help them get there. So that way it helps them even further on what they need to focus on because these are game changers in a classroom, regardless what subject you teach. Of course, you can edit it, do the same thing as a rubric generator, and you can also copy and paste whatever you need to do to make it what you want it to be. And with that, everyone, this is all I can show you for this short presentation over Magic School AI. Again, if you have requests or would like to learn more about this platform and would like more uh, virtual tours of it, please contact me at laura.hopkins14@hotmail.com, or you can find me on LinkedIn and we can connect and even create even more amazing things with this platform and share out off ideas and make school even more magical than it was before. Thank you for joining us and hope to see you next time.